We've just been out on the driving range with Nathan Fisher from TaylorMade Adidas Golf, testing out the M1 and M2. Well, starting with you, Nathan, how'd it go?
That felt great. Big difference compared to the M1 and M2 on the feel. Obviously in my M1 I have the weight set quite forward, where in the M2 the weight is set at the back. Definitely felt that at address, could feel the weight, the centre of gravity quite far back in the club face, but looking down at address would not be able to tell the difference between the two.
Cool, cool. And it's interesting when you talk about feel there, because as you say, the head weights are essentially the same, but it's funny, isn't it? Both look the same, feel slightly different. And what we did today to make sure it was a fair test is we used Nathan's shaft, which he has been previously fitted for. So it really was a head-to-head today. So in terms of ball flight, did you notice any difference between the two?
To be honest, no. Both seem to get a nice launch angle, both seem to be visually looking good. I naturally hit a little bit of a fade, saw that pretty much on both drivers, but visually, no, didn't see much difference at all.
Oh, yeah, I think that was apparent from the dates that we captured as well. With Nathan, as he mentioned, he does like to move the ball slightly from left to right. And even with the numbers that we saw here, we did see that the numbers were more or less the same. Interestingly, the spin, which I will come on to later, was a factor, but in terms of ball flights, remained more or less the same. We did set it at 10.5 degrees of loft, as I mentioned before.
Both drivers, correct.
Yeah, between the two, just to give a bit of data and feedback, Nathan was super efficient out there. He'll be pleased to hear that.
Oh, happy to hear that, Matt, thank you.
In terms of a number that we look for of what we'd call the efficiency of the shot, it's known as smash factor. And for those of you not familiar with smash factor, it's what you get out for what you put in. So we were looking for seeing how efficient Nathan's strike was, and in terms of his smash factor, he was finishing around the 1.50, 1.49. So he was swinging at about 117 mile an hour, which is quick, Nathan. That is quick. But what he also delivers, which is important, is a nice positive angle of attack. And interestingly, your lofts were still staying down. So why is that? What do you feel?
I guess when I come into the ball, I often de-loft the face just a little bit. I've got a bit of a forward press when I strike the ball, so slightly de-loft the club face. That's why I loft up to 10.5 and probably comes out almost like a 10 or a 9.5 degree driver. Yeah,
and I agree with that wholeheartedly. So, like, in terms of your opinion for the golfer, because obviously pitched at two different golfers out there, what's your sort of views on it, and how would you pitch that to?
Well, basically the M1, obviously the first driver from the M family to come out. The M2 going to be launching on the 19th of February. That's going to complement the M family. Now, with the M1, there's a lot more adjustability. We have the T-Track system where we can adjust the back weight. You can even move the center of gravity further back. You can move it further forward. Change the RPM slightly. We'll also change the launch angle slightly. Then we've got the front sliding weight, which enables to help promote a fade or a draw. Also, if you hit the ball maybe a bit off center, you can move the weight towards the toe or the heel just to help create a more efficient strike.
100%.
Now with the M2, we've moved the center of gravity a lot further back. Now what that does is increases the moment of inertia, the MOR. Now an interesting fact is by moving that weight further back, we've actually created a sweet spot that's now 80% larger than its predecessor, which was the aero burner. So M1 again, looking at the mid to low handicapper, more adjustability in the driver. M2 mid to higher handicapper, someone who wants to get the ball up in the air, someone who just has a slightly higher spin rate. But what's nice now with the M2 is we've added loft adjustability, which we didn't have in the aero burner. So two great drivers aimed at two different golfers. Got to get custom fitted, see what the numbers are with both of them, and away you go.
Absolutely, and I think making that as a point, the adjustability is what these clubs are designed for. So with being custom fitted, it is essential to get the most out of that driver, and we can customize it to the max using launch monitors, getting the most out of your game. Please come and join us at Badia Golf Club and test out the new M1 and M2.